What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today we're doing a Morphtronic deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this with you guys because this deck is an extremely powerful deck that can synchro summon into awesome boss monsters like Power Tool, Braver Dragon. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name description for every single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month you're a patron. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Telefon. Telefon is absolutely broken. This card is insane because it's a soft, once per turn monster reborn with the ability that once per turn during your main phase you can roll a 6-sided die and then gain life points equal to the result times 100. Then you can actually special summon a Morphtronic monster from the graveyard with a level lower than or equal to the result, which is an absolutely insane effect because you have one of these on the field and one of them in the graveyard. You can activate the one on the field to bring the one back from the graveyard to your side of the field, link the one that you just used, and then use the one on the field to bring the one back from the graveyard, again constantly looping through 2 copies of these cards, which is absolutely insane because every time it leaves the field and comes back, it forgets that it's used its effect since it's a soft once per turn, so you can actually loop through this card, which is broken. We then play 3 copies of Selfon. Selfon has the ability that if this card's in attack position once per turn, you can roll a 6-sided die, and then reveal cards on the top of your deck equal to the result, and then special summon a level 4 or lower Morphtronic monster among those cards that you excavated, and then you shuffle the rest back into the deck, which is a pretty cool ability just to instantly get one of your Morphtronic monsters out on your side of the field. We then play 3 copies of Smartphone. Smartphone is definitely a 3-of as well in the deck because it has the ability that it cannot be normal summoned or set. It must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing a Morphtronic monster from the graveyard. And when this card's in attack position once per turn, you can roll a 6-sided die and excavate cards from the top of your deck equal to the result, and then add an excavated Morphtronic card to your hand. Also shuffle the rest back in the deck, which is a pretty cool ability just to be able to keep excavating cards and grabbing cards from the deck. We then play 3 copies of Remoten. Remoten's really cool because this card is actually a machine dupe target, and that's what's insane about this deck is there's so many different machine dupe targets in the build to instantly get out on your side of the field. This card has the ability, while this card's in attack position once per turn, you can actually banish a Morphtronic monster from the graveyard to add a Morphtronic monster with the same level as that monster from your deck to your hand, which is a pretty cool ability to use with this card. We then play 2 copies of Scopin. Scopin's pretty cool as a 2-of in the build, but I don't feel like you need any more than 2 copies of this card. While it's in attack position once per turn, you can special summon a level 4 Morphtronic monster from your hand to your side of the field, but destroy it during the end phase, and then this card's in defense position while it's face up on the field, it becomes a level 4, which helps you go for a lot of different synchro plays. We then play 2 copies of Boomboxin. Boomboxin is really good as a 2-of in the build, but this card actually doesn't even need to have an effect because we're just playing this card in the build because it's a level 4 Morphtronic monster that's not a tuner that we can actually go in for synchro plays. You can play any of your Morphtronic monsters that are not tuners that are level 4s in this position, but you need 2 of them in the build to help you go through your combos. We then play 3 copies of Gadget Gamer. Gadget Gamer is absolutely insane. This card has the ability that when this card is normal summon, you can add a level 1 machine monster from your deck to your hand, and you can also tribute this card and then special summon a Morphtronic monster from the hand. Then you can special summon a Gadget Hauler from your hand or deck, which is great to instantly search out the exact card that you need, and then also summon out your copy of Gadget Hauler. Gadget Hauler is an amazing 1-of in the build. It helps you get your monsters in the graveyard and also get you a massive boss monster with the ability once per turn you can send any number of Morphtronic monsters from your hand to the graveyard that and then have this card gain 800 attack for each, which is a really cool effect to be able to use just to get your monsters in the graveyard so you can bring them back to your side of the field. We then play a single copy of Revolution Synchron. It's so cool to be able to basically play a baby version of Power Tool Dragon. This card actually helps you summon out Power Tool Dragon, which is really cool. If you're going to synchro summon a copy of Power Tool Dragon or a level 7 or 8 Dragon monster, you can use this card in your hand as a material for that card synchro summon. And if you control a level 7 or higher synchro monster while this card's in the grave, you can send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. And if you do, special summon this card. Also, this card's level becomes 1, but you can only use that effect once per duel. We then play a single copy of Terverion King Regulus. Regulus is definitely a 1-of in the build because it's super easy to summon out to your side of the field, and it's also walking the gate. We then play 3 copies of Fenrir. Fenrir is amazing in the deck as a 3 of, because it's basically a cyber dragon in the deck. They can special summon itself to your side of the field if you don't control a monster. It can add another copy of itself from your deck to your hand, and also spot removes cards off the field. But this card is really good because you can basically special summon this card out to your side of the field, add another copy of itself from your deck to your hand, summon out one of your level 1 tuners, synchro summon into Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon, and then summon out a copy of Braver Dragon, because Excel Synchro will instantly bring back the tuner to your side of the field, as long as it's level 2 or lower. So your Fenrir plus any of your tuners that are level 1 basically equal a copy of Braver Dragon, which is why I play this card in the build as a 3 of. We then play a single copy of Redox. Redox just really good as a 1 of in the build, because it's a really good option to be able to play in the decks. We're playing so many Earth monsters, and this card is basically a monster reborn. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get in to the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn is really good as a 1 of in the build to basically just bring one of your monsters back from the graveyard so you can keep looping through your materials. We then play a single copy of Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial is really good to get the exact monster you need in the graveyard. We then play a single copy of 1 for 1. This deck's most powerful monsters are all level 1, so this card is really good to get those monsters out on your side of the field. We then play a single copy of Life Extreme. Life Extreme is great in the deck to be able to equip to your copy of Braver Dragon, because you can only equip this card to an Earth Synchro monster. And if the monster equipped with this card battles an opponent's monster, the opponent's monster loses 1500 attack during the damage calculation only. Also, once per turn, if a monster's battle position is changed except during the damage check, you can target a card on the field and destroy, which is a great effect to be able to use with your copy of Braver Dragon's ability, because Braver Dragon can actually switch the battle positions of monsters, with making it a really good card to be able to equip to your copy of Braver Dragon so you can pop cards on the field. We then play a single copy of Metal Silver Armor. Metal Silver Armor is really good in the deck because it's when it's equipped to a monster, your opponent can only target the monster equipped with this card with any card effects, which is absolutely amazing. And then when you combine it with your copy of Super Magic Sword, it makes it so they can't target any of your cards, which is really insane, because if this card is equipped to a monster and the monster's in attack position, your opponent cannot target the equipped monster with card effects, which is really cool because this says your opponent can only target that monster with card effects. This says your opponent cannot target it with card effects, basically making it so your opponent cannot target you, which is really insane. We then play 3 copies of Repair Unit. Repair Unit is what we use with our copy of Power Tool Dragon, because we play 3 copies of it just to guarantee that we're going to get it off our copy of our Power Tool Dragon. But this card is another copy of Monster Reborn for the deck. Lets you send a Morphtronic monster from your hand to the grave, and then pick a Morphtronic monster in the graveyard and special summon the monster and equip this card to that monster, which is a pretty cool ability. We then play 3 copies of Converter. Converter is definitely a 3 of in the build, with the ability that you can target a machine monster you control and apply the following effects depending on its battle position. If it's an attack position, you get to special summon a Morphtronic monster from the deck with a different name than the targeted monster, then place the targeted monster on top of the deck. And if it's in defense position, you can change that monster to attack position, and if you do, special summon a level 4 or lower Morphtronic monster from the hand, or machine monster, from your hand, which is a pretty cool ability. We then play 3 copies of Machine Duplication. Machine Dupe is definitely a 3 of, because it just gets you so much value in the deck, because we have so many targets in the build to be able to summon off this card's effect. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get in to the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start with our main boss monster, Power Tool Braver Dragon. Braver Dragon is amazing in the deck as a 1-of, because this card is actually a walking negate. With the ability, if this card is special summon, you can equip up to 3 equip spells with different names from your deck or graveyard to this card. And also, during the main phase, quick effect, you can actually send an equip card equipped to this card to the graveyard, and then target an effect monster on the field and either change its battle position, or until the end of the next turn, you negate its effects. And the best targets to be able to equip to this card is actually going to be your copies of your Super Magic Sword, your copy of Metal Silver Armor, and a copy of Life Extreme. These are the best targets to be able to equip to your copy of Braver Dragon, but I always equip to Braver Dragon to get all of its insane abilities, and it's such a cool card to instantly get these awesome equip spells equipped to your copy of Braver Dragon, turning it into a real tank of a boss monster. We then play a single copy of the Sword Soul Supreme Sovereign. This is just a really good option to be able to make for a level 10 Synchro monster, and it's just a really good card overall. We then play a single copy of Draco Berserker. Draco Berserker is also a really good option to be able to make in the deck. It is when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can actually banish it, and if this attacking card destroys an effect monster by battle and sends it to the grave, this card gains attack, Eagle Destroy Monster's original attack, also can make a second attack on a monster during the battle phase, making it super easy to OTK. We then play a single copy of Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon and a single copy of the original Stardust Dragon. These cards are really good in the deck because you can basically make your copy of Excel Synchro, then bring back one of your tuners to your side of the field and step into your copy of Braver Dragon, which is amazing to be able to do. Plus your copy of Stardust Dragon is really good because you can tag out your copy of Excel Synchro into your original copy of Stardust Dragon, which is absolutely amazing. We then play a single copy of Power Tool Dragon. Power Tool Dragon is definitely a one-of in the build because this card helps us get to our copy of Repair Unit, because once per turn you reveal 3 equip spells from your deck, your opponent randomly adds one of them to your hand, you shuffle the rest back in the deck, which is a really cool effect to instantly get to your copy of Repair Unit. We then play a single copy of Naturia Beast. This card is amazing in the deck as a one-of because it is a spell negate and basically infinite spell negate in the deck. It's very easy to step into in this build. We then play a single copy of Earfawn. Earfawn is really cool as a one-of, but you only need a single copy of it. That while this card is an equip card, the equipped monster can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase, and also has the ability of this card is Special Summon. You can target a face-up monster on the field and treat it as a tuner until the end of the turn. You can also target a synchro monster on the field and equip this card from the field or graveyard to it, which is a great ability to equip this card to your Braver Dragon, so it can jam out as it OTKs. We then play a single copy of Access Code. Access Code's great in the build as a one-of, just to be able to make this card, because you basically get infinite materials in the deck because of your copy of your Telephone, because you can loop through this card infinitely, basically, to be able to summon out any boss monster that you want. And Link monsters are super easy to summon in this build, so this card is really good to be able to pop multiple cards in the field, and it comes out absolutely massive. We can play a single copy of Appaloosa because it's very easy to make a 4-material Appaloosa in this deck, which is really cool to be able to do. We then play a single copy of Nightmare Unicorn to spin stuff, 1 copy of the Earth Charmer. Earth Charmer is really good to be able to make because we do play a lot of Earth monsters in the deck, plus it gives us a different attribute for Access Code. We play a single copy of SP, which could be a copy of Nightmare Phoenix if you want to change it out for Nightmare Phoenix for a more budget option, but still a really good card because it's a double interaction, which is really cool. We then play a single copy of IP. IP is amazing to be able to make your copy of SP or Nightmare Unicorn during the opponent's turn, which helps out a lot in the build. And then finally, 1 copy of Relinquished Anima. Anima is really good in the deck as a one-of, basically just to use this card to use a level 1 monster on your side of the field to make this, and then basically gobble up an opponent's monster. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played Morphtronic before, you should definitely give this deck a try because it's absolutely insane with your copy of Telephone. Being able to loop through multiple copies of this card just to basically get infinite materials. It's insane how broken this card is. This card is absolutely broken. So that's going to be this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad. And we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.